Hi, good morning. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Today is August 5th. Happy Friday. Welcome to Energize Live, where we do make magic in the mornings. We don't always do a Friday Energize Live, but we're doing one today. So I hope you will join. We're going to make Energize. We're going to talk about this book right here. I'm going to talk about something else that just got finished that I have to share with you. And we're going to talk about all the other things too. So I hope you'll come, you'll join, you'll stay. If this is your first time joining the Energize Live family, please let us know. If this is your first time, please let us know. This week on Energize Live, we hit a big milestone. We hit 200 episodes of Energize Live. Now, let me give you a little bit of context, okay? So in March of 2020, and I'd have to go back and look at the playlists to see if I had done anything else prior to that. But in March of 2020, I was in my closet and, everyone had come home from the pandemic. My girls had come home from school. Everything had shut down. And I was getting up at like 4 a.m. in the morning because it was the only time that I could find time when no one else was up, because all of a sudden everyone's like right on top of each other. And I would go in my closet, and as I was putting on my shoes for the day, speaking of today, I have on my pink Lululemon Let's Feel shoes. So as I was putting on my shoes for the day, I would sit in my closet on the floor, the only time that I was actually by myself all day long, and I would record me putting on my shoes and talking on video, and then I would upload it to stories, and it would be like, it would be like 3 minutes long or something. It was crazy. But that's where it started. And then someone suggested to me, my dear friend Lou Mangello said, why don't you go live and do those conversations, but not on your stories, but go live. And do you know what my first response to him was? This is such a female mindset. And I'm going to share this with you because I think I have to get better at vulnerability and transparency. It's so easy to think people have it all figured out, and you see someone else's, so-called success, and you think they have it all figured out. Let me just be the first to tell you that's not true. And when Lou Mangello said, why don't you take those closet talks live? Why aren't you doing them live? I said, well, no one will show up. That was my very first sentence out of my mouth. Well, no one show up. No one will show up. I'm afraid that no one will show up. I hadn't even done anything yet, and I was already saying, I'm afraid that no one will show up. I'm afraid that I will fail. Like, come on. So I share that with you because it's also one of the reasons, all of our life experiences have brought us to the place where we are right now, right? Wherever you are in your life, wherever I am in my life. And I think part of our purpose on this planet is to share those life experiences with other people so that we can help other people. So I'm sharing that with you because I want you to know that my first response when my friend Lou Mangello said, why don't you take those closet talks live, was, well, I don't think anyone will show up. I hadn't even tried it yet. And I'd had a lifetime of experience of trying things and just sort of figuring it out. So we're always works in progress. However, I did it, but I did it in little doses. So I think in April, I still did my closet talks, but I also did some live, and I called it Amplify in April, and it was like a little series. It's on the video feed here on my profile. You can find it, Amplify in April. And then my daughter said, why don't you call it Kitchen Table Conversations? Because you've literally built your business at the kitchen table. And I'm like, oh, that's brilliant. So then I started some Kitchen Table Conversations. That playlist is here on my feed as well. And then, I did some others. I'm very alliterative. It was probably Motivate in May or Mindset in May or something like that. I don't know what else. And you can find all those playlists. When I added it up, it's hundreds of hours of content that I've gone live. And that doesn't even count the closet talks or whatever. So you can find all those playlists under the video feed here on my profile. And then one day I just thought, okay, I'm just gonna start showing up. And I was showing up while I was making my Energize. So people joined me and we'd make our Energize together. And lo and behold, Energize Live was formed. And here we are, episode 200 was on Tuesday. So what is this, 203 now? So this is episode 203, which is more podcasts than a lot of people have. And it's more podcasts than I have. And for 203 episodes, and even more, when you go back and look at all the playlists that are on my feed, we've just shown up together to have conversations. And it's funny because when I would teach group exercise, when I started teaching group exercise, sometimes I would show up to class and there'd be like literally 2 or 3 people in it. 2 or 3 people. And I was very, very new. It was very, very new, and there'd be 2 or 3 people in class. And my first thought would always just be, well, you know what? I'm going to get a good workout and I'm going to get practice. So let's just do this thing. And I think I sort of transferred that skill a little bit. It took me a minute, but I sort of transferred that skill into live. And it would just be, well, I'm going to show up. I'm going to make my Energize anyway. Maybe someone will show up and make their Energize with me. And lo and behold, lots and lots of hours of content later, and 201 or 203 specific episodes of Energize Live. Here we still are. So I think today is 203 and still going. I do even remember thinking about going live almost daily and going, well, what will I have to say? What will I have to say that will be of value to anyone? Why would anyone listen to me? How will I come up with something to say every single day? And somehow that has never seemed to be a problem. Somehow that's never seemed to be a problem. Somehow we always seem to have something to say. So every day I'm going to make my Energize anyway, just like I was going to work out anyway. And if people show up, then as a group exercise instructor, if people show up, I get to work out with people and I get to hone my skills as a group exercise instructor. I get to get some reps in, I get to get some practice in, I get to get a little better. Every day I'm going to make my Energize, and if people show up, then we're going to have some conversations, and maybe I can shorten your learning curve, and maybe I can offer some value, and together we can create community, which is, I think, what we all need so much right now. You know, you hear me say all the time, we are on a quest to find our people. Our life is a quest to find our people. And the more authentic and transparent we are, the more likely we are to find those people. And we need a space to come together, right? We need a space to find them. So that's kind of what this is. This is our space to find each other, to find people who want to have high vibe conversations and talk about goals and dreams just as easily as we talk about anything else. So that was a long explanation of how Energize Live got started. But I think we have some new friends joining our family, and I want you to know that it started with very humble beginnings, and we continue to grow and we continue to expand. And it is literally my honor that, you know, every morning I wake up and I make my Energize and people show up and we have great conversations every single morning. And it's just so cool to me when I think, you know, I grew up in a tiny little town in the middle of the Midwest. I did not know what I wanted to do with my life. I became a teacher because my role models, the people who impacted me the most, were teachers. I went to college. I got an English degree with a teacher certification. I became a high school English teacher. And I mean, I think that's what I was supposed to do at that time because I think I'm a natural teacher, but no one ever thought that I would be a teacher. I never thought that I'd be a teacher in the group exercise space. I never thought I'd be a teacher on the online space. We gotta go let Lady in. She's about to have a freaking heart attack over here. I never thought I'd be a teacher in the online space, and yet here we are, you know, and I think that's important to remember too, is you don't know how things are gonna turn out. Nobody had any idea that Instagram was going to be Instagram or that I was going to teach group exercise. Like, you don't know how things are going to turn out. So what if you just say yes to kind of following, you know, that passion or that calling, and then kind of see where it goes. Again, I didn't know that I was going to be showing up on Instagram every single morning, but yet it's teaching, right? It's still teaching. It's teaching, it's mentoring, it's coaching, it's all the things that I thought I wanted to do. I just, in the beginning, thought the only way that you could do it would be in a traditional classroom. And thanks to the internet, and thanks to personal development, and thanks to technology and all the amazing advancements we have, we can teach anywhere, we can mentor anywhere, we can coach anywhere. And whatever the calling is on your heart, whatever it is, don't lock yourself into one particular path. Know that you can be and do anything as long as you're following that passion. So here we are, episode 203, Energize Live, with new friends, new faces, longtime faces. So here's my question for you. How many of you have been with us since the Closet Talks? Or I don't even know what the first Energize Live, I don't even know exactly when that was. I should go back and look, shouldn't I? Like, when was the very first Energize Live? And who was on that very first one? Who was on Energize Live when we actually came up with the name Energize Live? Like, who was on that? Because that was extremely collaborative. I'm like, what are we calling these things? You know, what are we doing? I'm just showing up every morning and making my Energize. And what are we going to call these things? You know, so who, some of you were in the closet with me. Some of you were in the closet with me. I don't know when we actually came up with the Energize Live name. I don't know when that actually happened. It was very collaborative. And I would say, like, Melanie, you've been with me since Closet, so you've been with us 2.5 years and whatever. And Lorraine, you've seen the Closet. You know, here's the thing that I think that I can say about me that I think is a key to success no matter what you want to do. And I would hope that you would agree. So, Catherine, you tell me if this is true. Melanie, tell me if this is true. Lorraine, tell me if this is true. Your consistency and your transparency and your authenticity matters. I feel like you and I really know each other. I think there's really no performative stuff going on here. There's no pretense. Like, I feel like you and I really know each other. And I think too often people, you know, start to follow their calling or follow their heart. They want to go do a thing and it doesn't work out right away. And then they're done. And I think the only piece that I have, because I'm not talented, I'm not creative, I'm not super intelligent, I'm not any of those things. But I do show up every day. And I'm pretty consistent in kind of what I believe, although that of course has evolved over the years, because when you know better, you do better. I'm pretty consistent in my habits. I'm pretty consistent in who I am, the kind of human being that I am. I feel like, you tell me if I'm on the mark with this or not. I feel like we know each other. You know what you're getting with me. like you know. And I think there's no better tool that we have right now than video, than, you know, using social media as a way to truly, again, I'm going to say it again, to find our people, because I think that's our life's quest, to find our people. And I don't think there's any better tool than video/social media to find our people. Because to me, it's really hard. I thought I had something over there. All right. It's really hard to fake on video for as long as for 203. Okay. For 203 episodes, do you think I can fake that I love what I get to do every single day? Like, how do you fake that? Like, 203 episodes, like, I'm literally just not that talented. I'm not. And so I think when you show up on video every day and you use social media for what I think it was the way it was supposed to be used, which is to find your people, and you do that every single day, it's a whole lot easier to find your people. And it's not random that you are here. It is not random that it's 6:20. I was running a little late today. That at 6:20 this morning you showed up to be on this Instagram Live. It's not random. It didn't. Oh, I wonder what is that? No, it's not random. Like, you and I are meant to be here on this time, in this moment in history. Like, we're meant to be here. And I think if you just keep showing up and being on the quest to find your people, you'll find the ones who understand that you can't fake it for that long, if that makes sense. And I always feel like that if someone, let's say they join my coaching team, they're pretty sure, I would think, like, we're not holding hands and singing Kumbaya, right? Like, if you and I have had conversations on video, it should be pretty clear that I have bone deep belief in your potential, bone deep belief in the potential of the business that I am honored to be a part of, bone deep belief in your ability to tap into that potential. And I'm probably not going to hold hands and sing Kumbaya to you. I'm probably going to tell you to get your head out your ass and get to work. And if you join my team after we've had like 203 conversations on video, and you're like, I thought you were going to hold my hand and sing Kumbaya, I'm going to go, you crazy, because that's not what I was going to do. I was going to tell you to get your head out of your pants and get to work. And so that's another way that's another reason why I love this platform so much, because I think it breaks down barriers. I think, you've seen me cry. We've navigated and will continue to navigate really hard world issues. We don't really shy away from those conversations. I show up, on those hard days when you're like, well, I don't actually know what the F I'm actually going to say. And I think we both do that. It's not random that you're here. You're drawn to that, and you're on a quest for your people too. And together, I think we're creating something really cool here, which is a movement of mostly women who are expanding their ideas of goals and dreams and vision for their life. And they are on this quest to find their people who also want to expand their goals and dreams and vision for life. And what you're discovering in this space is that there are women out there who want to do that. And maybe before now you didn't, right? And I think what you're discovering now is that there are lots of women out there who do have goals and dreams and visions for life. And I just happen to create the space for us to find each other. And here we are, 203 episodes later. So I kind of wanted to offer that because I know we have some new members of our little Energize Live community, and I'm so happy. So listen, we are going to go outside and see the sunrise, but because we're on this topic right now, I just want to read this to you. And I read it on my stories yesterday, and you might not have seen it, but I want to read this piece to you out of this book because I want you to go get this book. It's called Strong Female Leader. Can you see it's wrinkled because I had it at the pool yesterday. It is highly, highly underlined, lots of notes. And I want to read this piece to you because it really resonated with me. Good morning, Alexis from Japan. I love this so much. Oh my God, this is why I love this so much. I want to read this piece to you from this book. And I hope it's a catalyst for you to go get this book. And then I want you to take it as something to think about today. Because I literally was high-fiving. So it's called Strong Female Lead. Strong Female Lead. Okay, here we go. Listen to this. Finally, let's stop talking about empowerment. What exactly does empowerment mean anyway? To some extent, corporate feminism and self-help culture has turned empowerment into a commodity. Buy this shampoo, it'll empower you. Buy this car, it'll empower you. Buy this self-help book, it'll empower you. Society's vision of an empowered woman is basically an upper middle class white woman who ticks all the conventional metrics of success. She's well groomed, has a lot of money, a high powered job, a perfect family, and she makes time for mindfulness and green juice. The empowered woman buys herself expensive things because she's worth it. Of course, the empowered woman is not selfish. She also donates money to those poor, unempowered women in developing countries. Empowerment culture isn't just a sneaky way of getting women to buy more scented candles, though. It's a lot more insidious than that. It's often a way of reinforcing current power structures. The thing about the word empowerment is that it means someone is giving you power or enabling you. It suggests that you are somehow incapable of helping yourself. I have disliked the word empowerment for I don't know how long. I empower women to blah, 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 blah. I am an empowered woman. I empower women to I have despised that word for so long. And years ago, I remember saying, that does not resonate with me. Nobody needs me to empower them. And it was when I read this book, I'm like, you're putting into words what I've always thought. The thing about the word empowerment is that it means someone giving you power or enabling you. It suggests that you are somehow incapable of helping yourself. Mic drop, exactly. So I'm sharing that with you for two reasons. One, because I need you to go get this book. And two, because if you are an entrepreneur in the health and wellness space, and you are saying that you empower women to blah, 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 you are actually feeding this culture that women are incapable of empowering their own damn selves. So if you are an entrepreneur in the health and wellness space, AKA if you are a Team Beachbody coach, as I am, and it's changed my life. If you are, and you're using this word, I need you to stop. You're not empowering anyone. You might be helping someone see their own potential. You don't need to empower them. You don't give anyone power. Okay? Great question, Jessica. I'm actually going to type it in the comments. This is where I get my books because it supports independent bookstores. That's where I get my books. So in the last line of this book, if we want a better world, then it's time to woman up. Go get that book right now. Go get that book right now. Okay, we're going to hop outside and see the sunrise really quick to finish up. But that piece right there resonated so deeply with me. And I want to share it with you because I like to share pieces of me with you. That's why we watch the sunrise together every morning. Because I like you to know where I stand. And I hate that word. And if you're using that word, please reconsider how and why you're using that word. Please reconsider how and why you're using that word. Always Sunny, number one, you need to change your Instagram handle. And number two, I already said the name of the book, and I'm saying that with love. Pay attention. Unless you're changing a baby's diaper or something like that, you got to pay attention. Also, I need you to change your Instagram handle. Welcome to Energize Live. You'd say, oh, Candace, you went to, thank you. I love that. I love that you did that. Okay, sunrise this morning. Okay, also, fun fact, and then I have two things to tell you. It's not your name, Always Sunny 1963. It's not your first and last name, so we can't have a conversation with you because we don't know your first and last name. So, and you're probably new to Energize Live. We've had this conversation lots of times. So I want you to think about, here in Florida, our grocery store is Publix. So if I went to Publix, I would never greet you by, hey, Always Sunny 1963. I would never greet you by that. And if I saw you, I wouldn't know you. I wouldn't recognize you from social media because it's not your name. So we do business with people who we know, like, and trust. We hang out with people we know, like, and trust. And part of knowing, liking, and trusting someone is actually knowing their name. So on your social media, your first and last name is super important, so we know who you are. And then if I see you out in public, I can actually say, hey, Kristen Dickerson, so great to finally see you. And I would know that because I know your first and last name. So it's not that it's wrong, it's just that there's something better out there, right? And why be good if great is available? So you can be great. Change your Instagram handle. Okay, let's look at this sunrise. Okay, yesterday, fun fact. Remember when we were out yesterday and I'm like, oh my gosh, look at that squiggly cloud. Look at that squiggly cloud. Do you know what that squiggly cloud was? And Marissa, who I don't know if she's on here right now, Marissa messaged me afterwards. Do you know what that squiggly cloud was? That was a rocket launch happening in my backyard. That was a rocket launch happening in my backyard. So what that little squiggly cloud was, and Marissa actually screenshotted it because she sent me a picture of it later. And her husband, they live in Utah, her husband works on rocket boosters and worked on the rocket booster for the rocket that launched yesterday. And she sent me a picture of it and she goes, that little squiggly cloud was actually a rocket launch. I'm like, what? So she sent me a picture of it. She's like, that was a cloud. And then she sent me a couple articles, and there was actually another rocket launch last night, about 7:08, and we saw that too. Jesse took a picture of that, and I put it on my story last night. So it's still there because it'll be up till tonight. So you can go back and you can see that it's just, and the sky was so blue, and there's just this gorgeous like squiggly. I know, like 2 rocket launches. And then when I was reading the article that Marissa sent me yesterday, it said that there are going to be multiple rocket launches this year, which is very exciting. Could you feel it, Nancy? You could feel it? So I need to get on the website and find out when there are going to be others, because I would love to see that in person, and we're right here, so we can. Wanted to share that with you because we all shared that yesterday morning. We shared that experience yesterday morning. Okay, last but not least, to wrap up on this Friday, several things, but they all are in the same place. So when we get done here, when we close, if you will go over to my profile and then open up, I'm going to send you a couple different places. If you will go over to my profile and click on the video tab, you will see underneath that every video that's underneath Energize Live, plus you'll see all the hundreds of hours of content that are listed in there. You'll see 203 episodes of Energize Live and the hundreds of hours of content. So if you want to ever go back and watch any of it, you want to watch like when we were in the house in Carmel, Indiana, just in, we've been here, we got here on March 1st, so March, April, May, June, July. So we've been here 5 months. If you want to go back, you can see all those old ones in Carmel, Indiana. So you can go to that video tab. Everything's under the video tab, and it's all the reels and all the Energized Lives and all the other hundreds of hours of content. So that's number one. That's where everything is. And you can also listen to it. Hey, you know what? If you all don't want to change your Instagram handle, that is totally cool. Just sharing what I've learned from lots of years of experience with social media. However, what we're not going to do is make comments about it on my Energize Live. So you can go to that video section and all the hundreds of hours of content are there. So 203 episodes of Energize Live and hundreds of hours of other content. So you can always go check that out. And you can go back and archive all of that, or look at all those archives of all of that. So that's number one. Number two, this is very exciting. This just dropped last night, literally just dropped last night. If you go to my links, there is, and just scroll down a little bit, there is a brand new series that is free for everyone. How to navigate Walt Disney World and stay on your health and fitness journey. It is a brand new video series. So if you are coming to the parks, and you can even use it at Disneyland, but I specifically talk about Walt Disney World because this is where I live and this is where I have the most experience with. It's a brand new 4 or 5 video series of how to come here to Walt Disney World and how to stay on your health and fitness journey. It's totally free. So if you just go to my links in my bio, and then it'll drop down, it'll open it up and drop down a few. There's a link to a call that I'm doing on Tuesday, and there's a link to join my team. There's a link to join Sweat Nation, my fitness group, and there's a link to join my newsletter, and then there's this free video series of how to navigate Disney and stay on your health and fitness journey. So that's all right there in my links. All of it. If you have not signed up for the call that I'm doing on Tuesday, go sign up for that, because that, of course, is free as well. So go sign up for that. That's the very first link. And then you just kind of work your way down the links, and all the things are right there, and you'll see the new Disney series. Yeah. Good, Megan. Megan, I do. I hope it's helpful. Someone asked about the new planners. They are going to launch August 26th. So I'll start talking about that as we get a little bit closer to then. But the next round of the planners will launch on August 26th. And then I'm starting something really cool around them to serve my planner community that will last to the end of the year. So stay tuned for that as well. But the next round of planners on August 26th, and then something really cool attached with that. So I wanted to make sure that I told you that, because I know I have so many of my friends who love Disney like I do. That's why we're friends. And if you just go to my links, everything's right there. Cool? Questions on that? Cool. Okay, one more look at the sunrise. One more look. Yes. Yeah, you know what? I just figure not everybody wants to come to Disney and eat all the cupcakes, right? Right? Some of us want to come and walk the miles and drink the green tea and be energized and stay on our journey. Maria, that makes me so happy. Yep. So go to my links. You'll see all the things. And if you get the Disney series, let me know, and let me know what you think. I'm so excited because I recorded that. We literally just dropped it last night. So I'm going to talk about it on my stories today too. And then the planners will launch on August 26th. Okay, let's go have an awesome day, an awesome Friday, an awesome weekend. Lots of fun things planned today. I think we're going over to the resorts later today to do a little resort walk. And we got some fun things. Since we couldn't go to LA this weekend, since Josie wasn't feeling well, we tried to do some other fun things here. So it's not hard to do here. I hope you have an awesome Friday. You know I'm here to help you. I'm here to serve however I can help, however I can shorten your learning curve, whatever I can do, whatever experiences and knowledge I have that can help you succeed better, stronger, faster, that will help you remember, that will remind you of how strong and capable and amazing you are. I am here to help you do that. So thank you. I appreciate that. Have an awesome Friday. Go make some magic today.